All right, very good. Yes, you can jump in your pool, and yes, you're going to love it, but did you go in the backyard and your pool is all green and there's stains all over it and there's plants growing in it and God knows what's going on out there? This is the Pool Fanatic Show featuring Tony Caruso, Orlando Luxury Pools, TC Water Features, and the Pool Fanatic Pool Cleaning Service Pool Service Company. And you can call Tony right now at 844-220-0965. That's 844-220-0965. Anything. It's amazing what could happen in your backyard. You can text us at 21232. And Tony, we have a special guest today.
We have our dear friend, Mr. Sean King from Florida Leak Locator. How you doing, Sean?
Outstanding. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. So I see you got your golf attire on today. So, and I also understand that you were hanging out with all the celebrities today out at Kings Point. So we had some very notables out there today, did we not?
That's right. Got to see everything, every kind of shot you can imagine when you've got Larry the Cable Guy out there, all the way up to some of the
One
great
of my
golfers.
buddies is his caddy.
Is that right?
Yeah,
We're going to show you a
friend of
picture.
mine.
We're going to show you a picture of the caddy that's he's carrying his camo bag with him. So
Playing country music at the same time.
So
That's
you
great.
had some John Smoltz, some Tommy Glavine,
That's right.
Greg Maddox,
Yep.
Reggie Jackson was out there.
That's right. Yeah, all for a very tremendous cause there with the Florida Hospital. So it was a great event to see. And yeah, it was
Isn't that something when it takes it takes the powers to be kind of in a round? Well, we all do it on a smaller scale too, but when you bring those guys together, we really get to do a lot of crazy things with bringing some really good money in and for a great cause. And the cool thing is, Rob, they get to give back, and that's kind of like what we do. Like who is watching the kids today, Rob? It was a beautiful day today.
Great day today.
Yeah, started out pretty horrible yesterday, but it got much better as the day went on, did it not?
Tomorrow morning's going to start off really horrible, too.
Well, I think it's going to start off really horrible somewhere around before it gets
3
into.
a.m.
Well, they said before tomorrow it's going to start, but it's really going to hit. They say, of course, it's weather, and I'm not sure how they get to play the big man upstairs. So it's a calculated, educated, somewhat guess somewhere between 1 and 6 tomorrow morning. We're supposed to have straight line storms with 40 to 60 mile an hour winds. Now, I did get a call from a customer yesterday that the wind did damage one of her uprights in her screen. Not a pool that I built, but a pool that we're renovating. So what a beautiful day, Rob. So, good news. I didn't hear anything bad last week. I checked the wires. Everything looked good.
Right.
Everybody was paying attention to the children. But what they don't list and they don't talk about is the unfortunate number one leading reason children drown is in bathtubs.
I didn't know that.
Number one. Swimming pools are number 9, not number 1. But we hear about it the most because there's 1.2 million pools in Florida, and when someone drowns in a swimming pool, it's a tragic day. What we don't hear about is the ones that drown in bathtubs. Number one leading cause of drowning is bathtubs.
When you really analyze it, it kind of makes sense because how many times do you see parents or babysitters draw the bath, get the kid in the bath, and then walk away and say, "Tell me when you want to dry off, Johnny."
Rob, I don't want to tell you.
Whoops.
I get some really bad stories that aren't really good for the air, but they're absolutely because they're just 100% negligence. There's no reason why you should not know where your non-replaceable loved ones are.
Amen to that.
Can I borrow your wallet for a month, Rob?
Well, why not? Because I
Come
can
on.
always get it back.
That's right, but you can't get. Can you get your kids back? Can I have your wallet today, Sean? You don't mind? I'll give it back to you. Who's going to watch your children? Make sure that you. I'd rather give up my wallet knowing my kids are safe all day long, because that's things I can replace. I can't replace my children. And I know your family is very sports oriented. What do your kids do for sports?
All kinds of stuff. My daughter's into softball. Now she's doing basketball. My son likes football, baseball, and my daughter's a big wakeboarder.
Okay, and what do you do?
Wow.
Yeah, myself, I like golf.
Okay.
Like to work out and do that kind of stuff.
You ski?
I do.
Okay, you play racquetball, handball.
Yeah, racquetball,
Okay,
yeah.
Well, I do. I like I play football, baseball, basketball. Can't play soccer hockey for nothing. I got no desire to go to a fight and watch a hockey game break out. I love to throw a frisbee. I love to play badminton. I like to play volleyball. Yeah. Love to learn how to skeet shoot. Really would, because of course, I'm playing football. I want to hold the football, so I want to be the quarterback, and I always love to lead, so I always love timing. Baseball's like that, too. You've got to know timing. Basketball, same thing. All the sports, racquetball, you got to know where the ball's going to be. So there's not a ball sport that I can't play. Not so great in some, but some I do very well at. I love basketball. I love the free throw all day long. Even at my age, I still play. I can still hit free throws. So I don't know, these guys that are getting paid millions of dollars can only hit 60 or 70%. I know there's no pressure at home. I got it. But, what a beautiful weekend so far. Friday afternoon turned out really cool. And then today is really nice. But, Sean, for you guys, you got a big turn down in water temperature last week.
That's right.
So are you putting your guys in dry suits? You put them in wet suits? And
yeah, we're thanking goodness for the dry suits because it definitely cooled off for us, but doesn't stop the work that needs to be done. Because
so if you're going to show up on a job and your guy has to get suited up for a wet suit, it takes him 5, 8, 10 minutes to put a dry suit on?
That's about right. It's the dry suit with all the undergarments and have to layer up depending on what the temperature of the water is to keep them comfortable.
And then the same thing to so when you go to a job for an hour, you're probably spending 20, 25 minutes in the dry, trying to get prepped in the dry suit just to get in the pool to determine what the issues are.
Yeah.
So but that's part of the business, right? You're not.
That's right.
That's right. So you take the good with the bad, hot days, cold days, freezing cold days, and
we talked about the fact that we were going to have leak locators on the show, and I was asked this week, are there ever times when the pipes are under the pool where the leak is?
There are.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
So, Tony, then it comes to you. What do you have to do when there's a pipe under a pool that's broken?
Let's talk about that for a second.
Oh.
I am currently renovating 2 swimming pools today that the bottom drains don't work. Nothing like, what am I going to do? Sean's going to sit here and say, you're going to come out here and leak it. Okay, Tony, it's somewhere between the main drain sump and maybe a foot or so away, or maybe 2 feet away from the sump, and maybe somewhere as it goes up the vertical. So what does that do? Do you honestly think I'm going to jeopardize putting a man in a hole 7 feet down, tunnel under a pool a foot or so to fix the leak? You think I'm going to do that? The answer is absolutely not. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to abandon that main drain. But we still need to have additional suction because too many people out there put too big a pump on the swimming pool, and we don't even want to get started because I have some stories to tell you from this week. But anyhow, what we would do is we would go in, we would saw cut a section of deck out, and we would drain the pool down. Obviously, we've got to resurface at the same time. We core some new holes in the wall. We put new main drain sumps in the vertical wall till we can pick up circulation. So, and we'll try to get those as low as we can. But, again, I don't want to put guys in a hole 5 feet deep because, one, I'm technically breaking OSHA rules by not having my mule or my sidecar in with my exit ladders. We open up a whole different world by doing things that are not OSHA approved. So we don't do them. If it's not OSHA approved, we're not going to. We actually, when we lay out, dig, and steal a pool, we actually put ladders in the pool to climb out of the pool, required by OSHA rule.
Right.
So we do that, and there's a reason. You can climb out on the rebar, fine, but if the rebar's not there and the hole's dug, you got to deal with it. So, Sean, what do you tell the customer when they find a leak in the bottom of the drain?
We tell them that's extremely unfortunate because, we look for those 95% of the leaks are very easy for us to address, but we're going to have those that are those types of leaks that require a major renovation to the pool.
Yeah, so if the main drain line is broken, do you have a way that you seal those off now, or do you let the customer explore additional avenues to get that resolved?
Well, there are many times that the main drain line that we can reach and there is fixes that we can do, but in the cases where it's something that cannot be done, then we would go with an alternative like you mentioned.
Yeah, just go ahead and block the put a plug in the sump and disconnect it at the pump so it doesn't try to pull water there anymore.
But that's extremely rare. It is very rare for us.
Yeah, I'm doing a couple right now where the drains don't exist, and I'm going in and cutting new suction lines in the wall. Actually, the only way to do a suction line in the wall is the right way. Do not stick a bare piece of pipe to the wall and put a cap over it, and or put a main drain cover over it. You actually want to put a sump in the wall. That way, the water is drawn deeper back in the wall, and there's never an issue with any type of entrapment. So, entrapments happen in main drains, single main drains with the cover off. Never been an entrapment in a single drain pool with the cover in place. So you guys get to see a lot of those different type of drain covers in the bottom of pools. Yep. And will you go to a pool that's green?
We will go, but we are not able to, or just for health reasons, for the guys to dive down. And really, there's a lot of different things in terms of visibility for us. We want to check everything out. Main drains, the returns, the skimmers, and you can't do that if the visibility isn't right.
So what do you? So here, what do you do when a customer says my pool leaks, and you go there and it's green, but they can't run the pool because it's green? It doesn't hold water.
Yeah.
It doesn't hold enough water to circulate the system.
Yeah. Well, number one is when we first speak to them, when they call us, we do the consultation to make sure they know that pool needs to be filled to the normal operating level and that it's clean and clear, so that we describe how they'll have to be able to see when we do the observations, so we can do that.
So it's imperative whomever calls Florida Leak Locator and you want to have a leak detection done, make sure your water quality is in great shape to allow these guys to enter the pool, because you don't want to. I got a picture of a slime pool the other day, and I've seen worse, but this is pretty slimy. But take respect for the fact that they need to get in good quality water. And you guys, I know the procedure. If they don't have the pool full, how can you do a complete analysis of the pool? And I know you ask them the 20 questions up front. I already know pretty much most of the questions are. But you guys answer, what are the typical questions you ask a customer about the pool prior to going out to a leak detection?
Well, we want to make sure we have all the right equipment. So we want to know if it's a pool spa combination or if it's a pool only. We want to know the type of pool that it is, whether it's a in-ground concrete or if it's vinyl, whatever type of liner they've got. And want to know just different things that may have been done with the pool, if it's been recently acid washed, or what factors may be contributing to why this pool is leaking.
So I got a question for you. If you come onto a pool, customer says losing water. We'll come back to this question. Customer says it's losing water and the finish is worn real thin. Could the pool potentially leak? Let's answer that when we come back. What's your website and phone number?
Sure. Our website is leakteam, L-E-A-K team.com, or our phone number is 844-4MY-LEAK.
There you go. Ours is 407-282-4911. Please visit us at Orlando Luxury Pools. Like us on Facebook. That's TC Water Features. Rob, amazing things can happen in your backyard.
Boy, they sure do. I tell you that right now. And we are going to be coming back. Don't forget, we're watching the weather for you. We were all hands on deck from this evening right on through tomorrow. We'll think about sleeping tomorrow, all right? Right now, you're listening to News 96.5. Hey, we're back. It's the Pool Fanatic Show. You can join us. Any question you want about swimming pools, spas, backyard entertainment, you name it, 844-220-0965, 844-220-0965, or you can text us at 21232, the Pool Fanatic, Tony Caruso. And today, we have Florida Leak Locators with us. What do you mean you got a leak in your pool? How does that happen?
And how do you know if you have a leak in your pool?
Well, one of the best telltale signs is how often you're adding water. If you're adding water more than once every couple weeks, you probably should start to figure out if you got something going on.
Yeah, you and I were talking off the air. I have not put water in my pool since April of last year. Mm-hmm. I pretty much can tell you I don't have a leak in my pool.
That's right.
That's right.
Wow.
And it was certified and tested by Florida Leak Locator that I don't have a leak in my pool. But all right, so what's a good way for a customer to determine if they have a leak in their pool?
Yeah, well, the best way to do that is what's called the bucket test. And if you go to our website, leakteam.com/test, or just look around for our bucket test, you'll see how to do it. But basically, just the premise is if you take a bucket of water and you fill it almost to the top, and you make a mark on the inside of the bucket where that water level is, you place it then on your first step of your pool, and you mark the outside of the bucket. And after 24 hours, you see how much the inside of the bucket's gone down versus the outside of the bucket.
Okay.
If they're gone down the same, it simply is evaporation. But if the outside's going down more than the inside, then you have a leak.
Yeah. All right. So how much does living on a lake with an unscreened pool have to do with water loss?
Well, that's going to contribute to it. And that's where the bucket test, one important thing about it is you don't want to go more than 24 hours because the pool itself is exposed to more sunlight, more wind, more factors in the environment. So the longer you let that test go, the further it's going to show the outside could be leaking. That's why you limit it to 24 hours. But You're right. If you're around, you're unscreened, you're by a lake, and you get more wind, you're going to have more evaporation. Right now, you can expect, if you'd expect maybe 1/8 of an inch per day this time of year, that may be more like 1/4 of an inch.
Right. All right. So if a customer has water features, waterfalls, sheet flow falls, rock waterfall, deck jets, laminar jets, any kind of water feature,
that's right,
and they want to determine if they have a leak in their pool, what should they do?
Well, they need to make sure they test the pool if they're doing the bucket test with everything running, and when they recheck the test, they want to make sure everything is still running so that it's tested under the same conditions, because when you stop those features, you're going to have some change in water, so you make sure it's always tested in the same conditions.
So what we do is we would do the bucket test with the water features off.
You could do that.
And then a bucket test with the water features on.
Correct.
Then you can kind of do the scenario and say, okay, I lose more water with my. Still doesn't mean you don't have a leak, though.
That's right.
But it'll give you a comparison that, okay, with the water features off and the bucket test, I'm cool.
Right.
Then I turn my water features on and the water goes down in my pool. Then we got a couple things to look at.
That's right.
So we would look at lateral tension from wind. Mm-hmm. Is the yard fenced? Does the pool have a screen enclosure? Mm-hmm. So we're looking at all those factors before we kind of, okay, it's acceptable to lose X amount of water per day if you're aerating water, correct? If we're exposing water to air through vertical jets, we're expected to lose some because of humidity. Now, if you wake up tomorrow morning and the pool water is steaming or you got steam rising, would you expect your pool to lose any water?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, the real simple question is, why is that, Sean? Why?
Well, that steam is simply water leaving your pool. That's just coming. You'll see it.
So that would mean that the pool water is warmer than the air.
That's right.
Okay. So we have steam coming up. That means we're going to evaporate water.
Yeah. And so an extreme example of that is a spa or something you're heating to a very high degree, maybe 90 degrees. But even at times right now when your pool level or your pool temperature is about 60, but it's going down to 40 at night, you're not going to see it as drastic, but it's still happening. It still is occurring.
Right. So are you going to lose more water in a pool in the heat of a July day or the chill of a January night? Kind of sounds like a book.
That's going to be pretty similar in nature. Those two extremes you just mentioned will be pretty similar. A lot of people don't realize in the summer, because of all the rain happening, they don't realize it's happening. So.
Well, yeah, but I would think there'd be slightly a little bit more in the wintertime because of the drastic change. Now, I see where the 40, 60, I got that would be the pool was 75 today, and all of next week is what we're going to go through now. We're going to be upper 30s, low 40s, highs in the low 60s. So that's when the really steam's going to pop off. I always tell people, when you're driving down a road and the pond is steaming, it's no different than your swimming pool. They're losing water. And guess where the water's going? It's going back up to Mother Nature so we can reclaim it and dump it back down in another state. Right. What do you think? That's the way it is. That is really how it is. So we do the same thing. I mean, when we go out and we renovate a swimming pool, for instance, we're going to ask that customer, how's your pool doing? Is it holding water? And we'll go into that. We're going to come back to this again. What's your phone number and website again?
Yeah, our phone number is 844-4MY-LEAK, and the website is leakteam.com.
407-282-4911. Like us on Facebook. Forgot about the OrlandoLuxuryPools.com, Rob. We've heard enough of that. Like us on Facebook, TC Water Features, where amazing things can and will happen in your backyard.
And he's the pool fanatic, by golly. Hey, join the conversation at 844-220-0965. That's 844-220-0965. Or you could text us at 21232. That's 21232. We'll be right back. All right, we are back. Okay, let us go ahead with more of the show. This is the Pool Fanatic Show. Are you a pool fanatic? You should be, because amazing things can happen in your backyard. Here's Tony Caruso.
I got a test for everybody. If you're having your pool maintained by someone else, go out and look at your pool finish and determine if it is stained or not. And the question would be, both of you, Sean, you own a swimming pool.
Yeah.
Rob, you go to many swimming pools.
Yes, I do.
If you are having a pool maintained by others and your finish is all stained up, who's responsible for those stains in your pool?
The pool service company.
Okay, so what if it was serviced by somebody else prior to the new pool service company taking over, and it was just sustained back then, and then you take it over? Whose fault is it then? It goes back to the guy that was doing it before
I'd say
you.
the original guy,
Yeah,
but the new guy owes it to the people to say, I'm taking over as, in my opinion, I'm taking over as your service guy, and I want you to acknowledge the list here I'm making you that your pool is messed up.
All right, so you got to ask yourself a question. If you are having your pool serviced by somebody and the pool had no discoloration when you started, and 6 months later you leave and that pool's all stained up, the service provider is the one that's responsible for that. End of story. So we see them all the time where we'll take over somebody's pool and it's all blemished up. Like we picked up a couple this week. The pools are all blemished up, but I can't do anything for them because the water's too cold. And that doesn't stop you guys from doing what you need to do. It just changes your mindset a little bit. I don't know if your guy's going to go out there. It's going to be 39 degrees, they say, Wednesday morning. It's going to be a high of 50, whatever. Your guys have no fear of that, right?
No, we'll be out there.
There you go.
Got to stop that leak so you can balance those chemicals and not have those issues.
And here's something that's redundant. I mean, if your pool loses water and you're constantly putting it in, and before you ever get out there, the customer's actually not doing their pool finish any good at all.
That's right.
Not at all. They're having to constantly keep the chemistry in the pool right and keep the sanitizer up, get the pH right, and then you guys get there. Do you test the water before you go in the water? Do your guys test the water before they go in?
No, the only test is just basically the eye test and if it's clear.
Okay, so, but if you walk out there and you got this really high smell of chlorine in the pool,
right?
Will you walk off for that job?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll test it.
We'll delay it.
Yeah, we'll test it to figure out why it is, because that high smell of chlorine is not a high concentration of chlorine, it's chloramemes. That's why you shock your swimming pool. So if you owned an Aquarite or an Aquarite Pro, it'll shock your pool for you, and you don't have to worry about those liquid containers spilling in the backyard. So, Sean, when you see a lot of swimming pools, if the pool finish was worn down, and do you take that in consideration when you're looking for a leak? Do you kind of go to that spot, or you see enough of them, they really don't leak? They're just they're just absorbing.
It can be a contributing to some, but if somebody's leaking, it'll be somewhere that we'll find, and then we'll be able to stop that typically with an epoxy. But those we'll recommend if somebody needs a refinish to have it resurfaced.
So are you finding any unusual pipe configurations that leak in pools here in the last couple of months? I mean, we saw the flex pipe that kind of looks like someone's spine. Yeah, that's all eaten up. You still see some flex stuff out there?
We do, and we've seen it even when it just will swell up because of the tablets that set in, and then we'll shut that. It could be a skimmer line, something.
So if you go out and you find a leak in a skimmer, for instance, it's in a line down below, and it's a flex line,
right?
You guys will fix that?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so you'll cut the deck, pull the skimmer out if you have to, and repair that flex line. And what do you do if that flex line continues to continue out the deck?
Those can be problematic, but there's not a lot of that we see in play, but we do see all different kinds, especially. And right now, what we'll see a lot of is the cracked light niches, because as this temperature changes, those cracks are going to increase more and more. So we've seen a lot of those.
Without divulging the manufacturer of the cracked light niche, are you only seeing it in one manufacturer's niche?
I'd say in particular, definitely in one material. The stainless steels are not cracking. That much I know.
Correct. The one that, and I'm not going to mention which one it is, but I know it's not the one that I use, because the one that I use is ribbed, and it's designed specifically for the application we're going to use it for. We also use the low voltage niche. Have you found any issues with the low voltage niches? No. And I'm going to, here's my reason why, because more of it's encased in gunite, and they're thinner and they're stronger. So we go to low voltage lights, which means I don't have to use number 8 bond wire in there. And so far, so good. My pipe fitter, which is my brother Mike, we do not use flex pipe, but he sure lets me hear an earful when we do a round spa. When we do a round spa, he says, how am I supposed to do a round spa with a straight pipe? I says, because we're not legally allowed to bend the pipe, hard pipe. We're not legally allowed to heat the pipe up like the electricians can. They use heat boxes. But we get along well. We don't add a whole bunch of extra fittings to it. 2 45s together make a 90. If you use the fittings just right, you can spread them out, and we can actually make square pipe go around a circle very well. But we're not afraid, but we will never use flex pipe. Never, because of what the horror stories you guys tell us about.
Right.
when you see some of these leaks in piping under pools or in decks, do you see they use cleaner or primer? Can you tell?
No.
Well, if you can't tell, that means there's probably none there, because 98% of all pipe fitters are sloppy when it comes to purple primer. Believe it or not, Sean, we use purple primer on our trim sets, and you will never see one drop of purple primer outside the glue joint.
Wow.
Not one. Not one.
Whoa.
We actually use a medium set gray glue. You will never see any glue beyond the hub of the fitting. There's no runs and there's no drips. Now, if you can do a vertical 90 on top piece of pipe, guess what? We make it up horizontally. So the glue can't run down the fitting.
Right.
But you know what? That's poor planning. When you guys go out to a job, I would imagine your service techs aren't running out the truck 10 times to carry stuff in the backyard. They've done this enough to be efficient.
Yes.
Yes. So, and you have some pretty sophisticated leak detection equipment, do you not?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, our goal is to warranty a pool's not leaking. We have the latest equipment, whatever's needed for each pool. So we start off just kind of seeing what the right approach is, so that we can go through our process to ultimately warranty that pool's not leaking.
I gotta hang on. Here's how stealthy they are. We can't be in the backyard when they go there. They put a tent up around the pool like a crime scene, so they can't. Nobody teases.
This is CSI.
No one can see their leak detection stuff, but it's pretty state of the art, is it not?
It is. Yeah.
My question was, if somebody's listening to this and they're fascinated by it, where does a leak company like yours, the best in the business, where do you find your people? I mean, does a kid go to school and say, I'm going to grow up and I'm going to be a leak detector in a pool? Where does it come from?
No, we have grown our guys and our technicians into the roles, and we've been able to retain them and keep them. We're just, we're a local family-owned company, and they've stuck with us, and we have the same guys that we've had for years. And they're very professional about what they do, but they're very passionate and they enjoy it. It's fun. It's like a little treasure hunt. They go out when they finally find it. They're excited, and like I said before,
I like that, a treasure hunt. That's pretty good.
Yeah, 95% of the time, it's just something very easy, and the homeowner, it's just $250 for a standard pool to get it not only checked out and located, but also as well as repaired for those minor patches.
But sometimes that leak could be a needle in a haystack. I mean, it could be really somewhere so deep it's not nowhere in the structure of the tile. Right. It's in the piping, but it's so small, it's aggravating. I know you're going to find it. I know you're going to. Do you have any specials going on? Do we have any radio specials we can do here?
Yeah, absolutely. For the Pool Fanatics, if anybody were to call in and just mention that they heard about us here on this show, we're giving them a 10% discount.
That's huge, by the way.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, and not to mention as well that if they call in and we're able to fix their leak, because we're licensed by the state of Florida, we can provide a water loss letter. So we're able to stop the water, and then they can give it to the water company to get rebates back on whether it be sewer or any extra usage of water. So
you're an actual you're a certified pool contractor.
That's right.
What's your number? Do you know your number?
I do.
Okay, let's hear your number.
CPC 214.
Wow. Is it 214?
Wait,
really?
Wait. No, wait. Oh no.
CPC.
Yeah. What's your start with?
CPC.
Yeah, CPC.
Mine's so easy.
214-8717.
Tony's got the easiest one in the entire United States.
I know. That's why.
050506. Not 050506. It's 050506. I love the easy. I was so blessed when I got that. But see, I mean, we're the zero. There's a 03, a 04, and a 05, and then it jumps up to like 14.
Yeah.
So you've had your license for a couple years.
Well, I'm sorry. It's 148.
It's 148. There you go.
I mixed up my tax ID number with my.
Hey, you know what, Rob? We're rolling into the month of March.
Yes,
the Florida Swimming Pool Association. Sean was at the meeting there. We upped our ante from the golf tournament to double that to $6,000 for the YMCA. We actually added on to that to make it $10,000 to the YMCA. So I am going to have on this radio show in about 3 weeks. And everybody's precious, by the way. All my guests are very important. But we're going to have a Olympic gold medalist on this show. And his name is Rowdy Gaines.
Yes, Rowdy coming.
So Rowdy's going to come on the show here in about 3 weeks. We're going to talk about what the YMCA is doing to help children swim. Now, if I had my mathematical skills going on, $10,000 at $7 a swimming lesson, and each $7 includes 5 lessons. That's what, $1.35, $1.40 a trip. So I think if I'm thinking, is that right? 1,300, a little over 1,300 children in Central Florida are going to benefit by the $10,000 we raised.
That is so
great. But that's not enough, Rob. That's not enough. Listeners out there, if you want to make a contribution, and I believe it could be a charitable contribution to the YMCA, think about it. $7 gets one child 5 lessons.
That's so great.
$7. So if you have $7 to spare or $14 to spare, or just make it even, Andrew Jackson, throw a 20 out there, it'll get somebody 3 lessons. And this money that you would put up would go directly to swimming for children. Yeah. If we could get every child in Central Florida to swim, we'd have a much better community. But that doesn't stop there. This has to go nationally, and once it goes nationally, it needs to go worldwide, because there's a lot of YMCA's in America. There's 243, something like that. We have 4 or 5 or 6 of them right here in Central Florida.
Yeah,
we have quite a few of them.
Great
so.
Cause.
Anything new and innovative in what you do? Any new and innovative in what you're doing right now?
You know, I mean, it really just comes down to having and following. We've been in business for 15 years. It's really just about doing things the way that we always have, which gives us the best chance of making sure that we find, if there's not only one, there might be a couple things going on.
And that's another thing. I mean, you might go to a pool and you go, okay, love this one. Go in the pool, you put your dye out there and sucks it right up, going, I found the leak.
We found it right there.
Do you stop there?
No. No. We have to make sure, because, and you say the only innovative things that are coming right now are really about how we manage everything in terms of, we have the iPads and we're able to document photo and those things. But when it comes down to the expertise, it really is just, that's what comes from our technicians.
There you go. We got to go to a break again.
Yeah, we have to take a break. Sorry about that. But this gives you all a chance to join the show at 844-220-0965. That is 844-220-0965, or text us at 21232. We'll be back. Hey, that's right. Don't forget. Yes, here we are. It's the Pool Fanatic Show, Tony Caruso, and we're talking to Florida leak locators. How cool is that? And again, if you have a big pool party and a bunch of people are jumping in and out of your pool, it's not going to take that much water out, is it?
Well,
no.
Go ahead, John.
Well, I'm just going to say, it's in terms of relative to what a leak is. When you think, if your pool goes down an inch, that's 128 gallons of water it's going down.
It's expensive.
People are splashing out. You're losing some, but you're losing maybe 10 gallons at most of people are doing cannonballs and all that kind of stuff.
So what we used to do, we used to say, okay, and this is all due respect, men wear one-piece bathing suit, typically shorter hair, is worth about a gallon, in and out. Female, we'll call it about 2 gallons, 2-piece bathing suit, typically longer hair, more surface area or more absorbing area to take water out. Now, the dog, depending on the dog, like I have a yellow lab, she's good for 2 or 3 gallons every time she goes in and out. So yes, bather load does affect water loss. Doesn't mean you have a leak, though.
Right.
How much are you using the pool? It's going to be common sense. I'm using the pool. It's not raining, but I'm losing. But you determine, am I losing more water than I think I should be losing? Yeah. That's when they give you guys a call.
That's
right. What's amazing about you guys, you find leaks, you fix leaks, and that's all you do. Rob, we're as the year progresses, we're on day 16. We're going to be swimming in about 90 days. So if you're looking to build that swimming pool, you need to get on a permit right now. If you're looking to renovate that pool, get it on a renovation now. If you're looking to have your pool service, you still take care of your pool the same exact way in the wintertime as you do in the summertime. So I love explaining to people. We had Ralph White from Hayward Pool Products on here last week.
Yeah, great.
We never did finish our conversation just on salt systems. We're going to have him back. We're going to talk about all the other cool stuff. In about another month or so, we're going to have him back, or 2 months. And then we're going to probably do 4 or 5 more segments this year alone. And, Sean, you're welcome to come back here anytime you want to. I think when the water warms up again, we'll get you back on here again so we can talk about, transition time to and from. But, maintaining your swimming pool in the wintertime is really no different than in the summertime, except your chlorine demand goes down. Right. You still need to keep the chlorine level where it belongs. Between 1.5 right now I'd be happy with. The pH has to stay in range. I guarantee you, your guys ever complain because finishes are rough when they go in them?
They'll see it. I mean, they'll bring it up, and we'll tell the homeowner.
Yeah, and guess what that is? Lack of chemistry. Who's taking care of the water? So why would you have anybody take care of your investment that's not qualified to do so. That's why we do an amazing job with our pool service. It's growing every day. I have testimonials. We're going to start loading them up on the internet now that I have control of my website again. We're going to start loading them back up. We're going to start letting you read the testimonials from the customers that we service the pools. They love it. They love what we do. They say, gosh, man, we didn't just see you wave walking by and wave walking out. We actually saw you spend 20, 30, 40 minutes in the backyard taking care of our investment because we treat your pool as if it was ours. Now, you talked about your guys loved coming into work every day, they want your job. I know you said one of your guys wants your job, then that's what I want, is someone to want my job. But you're going to have to really want my job. And the only way you can have my job or your job or Rob's job or Chris's job is to fully understand what that job includes. And how many hats do you wear every day? More than one?
Small business ownership.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
so
God.
you're wearing every single hat in your office because you need to know bookwork, accounting, scheduling. You need you need to do it all, and that's
Copier
what I
guy,
do. So when
printer repairman.
So
computer.
when you walk out of the office, your office still runs, doesn't it?
Yes.
There you go. Same with me, because my people know exactly what to do while I'm not there. The business still runs. But at the end of the day, you're the dog. You're the guy up here that oversees this big, huge umbrella so everything works. Do you take vacations?
I do.
Okay. You feel comfortable when you take vacations?
Absolutely.
And so do I. You know why?
There you go.
I plan for it.
Yeah.
And if you don't plan for what you do, we have meetings every Monday morning. Actually, I have two meetings. The first meeting, about 7:15 Monday morning, is all about our week's schedule. What are we going to do? How are we going to gear up for the week? And then how are we going to move forward? And the second meeting I have is how we're going to handle everything else we're doing in the office itself. And it's worked out very well. I have my daughter-in-law has now come back to work for us. She's amazing. Given Tina so much relief in the office. Now Tina can focus on the 9 or 10 hats that she currently wears today. But again, it's overseeing everything that gets done every single day. Scheduling is important, keeping service going, keeping our customers happy. We're building new pools, we're renovating swimming pools, and we're not practicing when we renovate swimming pools. Please remember, you get exactly what you pay for. If someone is a $500 cheaper on a pool finish than I am, it's because they're putting the finish on thinner. What's your phone number, Sean?
Our number is 844-4MY-LEAK, and the website's leakteam.com.
That's a pretty nice one, leakteam.com. Mine's a little bit more in depth, so I don't have a fancy phone number like you, but I've had this phone number for 30-plus years. That's 407-282-4911. I don't use it for 4911. They're 911. It's 4911. OrlandoLuxuryPools.com. Very nice website. You get to see new pools, renovated pools. Got some nice stuff on there about testimonies, nice customers, nice reports. Like us on Facebook, Rob. Our followers have really grown up really fast. That's tcwaterfeatures.com or TC Water Features, where amazing things can happen in your backyard. But they don't happen unless you call 407-282-4911. We'll be back next week.